But don't worry, I'm going to help you fix it. I know making games can be frustrating at times, especially when you work on a project for weeks and then realize it's absolutely terrible. But here's how I made my game fun and how you can too. When my game wasn't fun, it was a round-based strategy puzzle game where you have to place plants. And depending on where you place them, 2 numbers are calculated. And those numbers are the chances for getting additional seeds of the same plant type and new seeds of a different plant type. Your goal is to get a specific amount of seeds of specific plants. Got it? Yeah, me neither. So when I realized that my game was trash, I tried to find the problem with it. And I had a few ideas what it could be. A designer knows he has reached perfection not when there is nothing to add, but when there is nothing to take away. This famous quote by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, I hope I pronounced that correctly, displayed a problem with my game. It was complex. Not complicated, complex. What's the difference? I had no idea either, but apparently it's this. So what did I do to try to fix that problem? Well, I did nothing. I said, oh, it isn't a bad thing that my game is complex. Many games are complicated, and I'll just make a good tutorial. But I didn't understand the difference between the two words. If you aren't familiar with the concept of input randomness and output randomness, here's a quick recap. Input randomness is when something random happens and then the player decides what to do. And output randomness is when the player does something and then something random happens. And that often feels completely unfair. Using output randomness was the whole premise of my game. You plant the plants and then you see the random results. So it felt like nothing more than a stupid gambling game. So what did I do this time to fix the problem? I just kept the chance for multiple turns, so if you aren't lucky, the calculated chance is still added in the next round. So I did those things, but my game still wasn't fun. Why? When my game was too complex, I didn't try to make it less complex. Instead, I tried to make a good tutorial. And when the randomness was unfair, I didn't remove it, but I tried to fix it by making the game even more complex. In short, everything I did was just a band-aid. It was just fixing the symptoms, not the disease. Like every new piece of code in Minecraft, it didn't get to the core problem. The core problem, in this case, was that my design goals didn't work and my game didn't fit them. I tried to make a puzzle strategy game, and yes, mixing genres is great, but in this case they just didn't fit together, and unfair output randomness is useless, except if you want to get a job at EA, of course. So if you want to get something out of this video, open your favorite text editor, or even better, the comment section, and write what your game is supposed to be. So for example, a platformer where an AI tries to kill you, a shooter which is focused around milk, or a puzzle game about plants with no target audience. And then think about if your game really fits those goals, what the core problem is and how you can fix it. So, how did I redesign my game so that it is fun? First of all, I chose one genre. The game is now a puzzle game. Then I kind of changed the goal of the game. You have to get a specific score by placing the plants in different configurations. And I also made the math which is used to calculate the score much simpler, so the player can understand it without needing to buy a second screen for Microsoft Calculator. It's hard to explain, but I'll release a demo soon. Subscribe to not miss out on that and the nice visuals and the story I'm going to implement. And until then, good luck.